Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai. Thank you all so much for joining in. Oh, I haven't got the YouTube. So we still it doesn't show in the feed, isn't it? The YouTube it doesn't show in the permanent feed. Is it that we are still not listing the satsangs, or you're on mute, my dear?
Sorry, Father, I didn't hear you.
I was saying we're still not listing the satsang on YouTube, is it, or?
No, we are listing it now, and it's these are now listed. We're not keeping it private anymore, Father.
Because it still doesn't show up in the feed. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell us. So we still it doesn't show in the feed, isn't it?
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that, Father.
Oh, it shows over there for Bhagwati ji is showing. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you once again for joining Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai. If you're in the Hangout, the way to ask questions is to unmute your mic when you feel it is appropriate and start speaking. On YouTube chat, you can post your question in the chat and we can look at them. Yeah, and Nitya saying, can we see more of you? Who's feeling that I'm almost free? You can say like, then you can come up. We won't have monologue. You come up and then we see. Almost there, but not quite. Just a little bit.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. I'll go one by one. Free? Okay, let's take a survey first. Free? Whatever. Don't know what that is. Okay. Free? No. Free? Don't know what that is.
Completely free.
Completely.
Absolutely free.
So, like, it just feels here like there's less and less identifying with thoughts and the mind, and more clear seeing. And so then, like, maybe the story is like, oh, even though I know.
So is there a feeling that it must completely get disidentified and then I will be free?
I think so.
Good. Adam? Okay. Atma?
Sorry.
What
Sorry,
happened?
Father. Bruno, did you tell my name?
Yes, yes.
I was just communicating with Jaj about leaving Hangout for Shanti. Did you ask about how I feel if I'm already free?
Free or not free or almost there?
Oh, I'm there. No, not almost there. I'm there.
Your mics are working or no?
Mine?
No, next we went to Bhagwati ji and Nirmai ji.
You see? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, mic's working, brain's not working.
Yeah, Bhagavati's free and I'm
Oh, this breath.
and I'm nearly.
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 This fellow. Speak to your beloved father.
I'm here, so I'm nearly free. I'm here with you in Satsang, so.
Jane.
It's good here.
What about this freedom thing?
I don't even know.
Don't know what that is. Yes. Good. What about Jerome and Sonia?
Um,
You want to say something, Jane? You can say.
yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, can you talk a little bit more about, like, contemplation? I'm not exactly sure. But just, like, contemplation.
Is generally contemplation or
Yeah,
specific or something?
it's just, like, in general, contemplation.
We'll come to that soon. Jerome, Sonia, thumbs up or down? Typing? Okay. Watching this, almost freedom. Okay, Jerome is saying, and Sonia is saying? I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Ram.
Father, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Yeah, there's some kind of like dissatisfaction here, you know, like
Dissatisfaction.
yeah, dissatisfaction. Like I feel like I had to kind of transform something to get into freedom or something. There's always a feeling like that.
Does it feel like you're almost there or far? It's far. This transformation is far.
I don't know the distance, Father. It's
Yeah.
feel like sometimes when the mind come up, it feel like something is putting me down, you know. and I know it's just a thought, and I just ignore it somehow. But there's always the feeling like something has to happen. Like there's kind of expectation or something.
Very good, very good. Yes.
Father, I've actually like stopped thinking about freedom a lot. Earlier, it was a lot of when will I get free, and that thought is not there anymore, or is there much less than what it used to be. I just go. It's funny. I just go about my life these days. You know, whatever it is that comes up, and before I met you, I didn't want to work. I just wanted to be free, and now I'm able to work and I'm able to do whatever it is that's out there. So that's interesting, and I sometimes wonder, oh, where has the search gone? You know, where did it disappear? And the mind says, oh, you know what, you've got a ways to go, but or it'll come and say that at times, but that's also just the mind. It's the next thought, and then I just remember that I've got to let go of that, and I think what the burden of life is much less, Father. There is it's not there, and so I don't know. I don't have an answer to your question in that sense. That do I feel far or do I feel close? You know, this morning as I was coming to work, all I knew was the only experience I know is of me. There is no other experience I know, and yeah, the only thing I know actually, Father, for sure, is I need to just sit with you all the time. You know, as much as possible, be in satsang, and the rest is really not my problem.
Very good, very good. Okay, Tanya? No, not free? Okay. Okay, Trupti?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yesterday I was thinking for 2 hours. Okay, you got it. So if you ask the person, it's maybe 99%.
Huh?
But if you ask that, it's not a question at all.
Very good, very good. What about on YouTube chat? How many almost there? How many completely there? And how many? I don't know what the question means anymore. Yeah.
Like, and I don't joke.
Mm. Yeah.
But in a sense, it's like true in words that because like it could be like maybe you use different words like if you have clarity in your head,
Yeah.
but people have clarity in their head in like but like obviously that is not being like so it does kind of help them. I don't know
Yes, yes, yes. It's very good. So, what I was going to say is that from the perspective from which we can see, if we still carry a personal perspective and we expect some sort of personal freedom, it is not going to happen. So, write it off. The person will never be free. Then, what is the second perspective we can see from? See from this place of presence, of the sense I am, the one that has the power of belief, the power to pretend. Now, this one has been associated with a lot of concepts, a lot of ideas about itself it has picked up. Nothing has really happened to the presence, it has not changed, but it has been pretending to be personal. It has been pretending to be personal. So, if there is something called freedom, it is only this belief in these concepts, these pretenses getting dropped away. You see? And being, which was associated with a lot of conceptual identities, now is just mostly undisturbed, unassociated, untouched by any of this conceptual noise which can come from the mind. So at the being level, we can say that satsang, the purpose of satsang is to get from associated being to unassociated being. When we look from that perspective, we can say like that. From the ultimate perspective of the awareness itself, nothing has ever really happened. So the concept of freedom or not freedom doesn't mean anything at all. So we must check within and see. Because it is very easy to actually throw away this question. Like Amba was saying, very easy to just say, oh yes, nothing, nothing, no freedom, not freedom. But actually, why are we here then? If there is no nothing at all, the concept of freedom itself is non-existent, which is true in from the ultimate perspective, then what is the point of satsang? This is what becomes frustrating for some of you, isn't it? Then if you're already free, then why do we come to satsang? Why are you speaking and we are listening? These kind of things can come. So it is only that, it is this essence, this presence, which has something called the power of belief, and it is believing itself to be a person. So God is believing himself or herself to be a person, and now God is coming out of that belief. That's why my master calls this satsang is rehab for God. It can seem strong to those of you who are new to satsang, but it is rehab for God by God himself. All that is playing is God himself. So God has got associated, addicted to the person idea, and God himself is saying, I'm tired of this person idea, and God himself is coming and saying, okay, this is all just a concept, it is just a belief. It is completely in your power to withdraw your belief from personal identity. So that's all that is happening. But if you come to the last perspective, which is from the personal perspective, and say that this pretend identity has now got some freedom or not, that is trouble. That is only in the most glorious scenario for itself, it at best can become just a spiritual ego, just the concept of a free person, an enlightened person, a realized person. So depending on where you're looking from, if you see that I am just this pure awareness, then what can we say about freedom? Nothing at all. What can be said about freedom from there? Nothing at all. Then we would just be sitting in silence every day, which also doesn't sound too bad. Yeah? But then, when you come to this presence, ask yourself, who, if there is no person, then who has the power of belief? We say in Satsang, withdraw your belief. Who has the power of belief? Being. That. So it is this being which has the power of belief. And you can contemplate what is the meaning of belief. What does it mean when being believes something? It only means that being is pretending to be something that it is not. Because all beliefs are personal. Even the most glorious beliefs are still personal. So, consciousness, God has given himself this power to pretend, for whatever reason. You might call it entertainment, you might call it to make the game seem more meaningful. The reasons can come later. But just first observe that this is what is happening. And then you will discover that the person itself is only a belief. It's only an idea, believed in. And it has no existence. This becomes clear as day. So if there is a sense of process, if there is a sense of progress, then it is seen that it is only being playing this game where it is dropping the pretense. For some it can happen, finger snap, everything drop. You see? For some it can happen, it seems like finger snap, everything drop, but tomorrow again back. You see? Yeah? And for some it can seem to be slow, boiling, slow boiling, till it comes to some very sober realization that yes, it's clear, no person is here, and yet no fireworks, no sudden anything. Some it can be like that. So the way in which the going from associated or pretending to be person to going to seeing that I am unassociated being, this can seem to be some process. This can seem to be some progress. And from the third perspective, the person's perspective, nothing. Because still going from the presumed personhood, then nothing is really changing. Because you're just picking up new concepts, new ideas, new beliefs, which are making the person feel more and more special or more and more incapable or humble or whatever, but still operating personally, then nothing is really changing. Nothing is really changing.
What we call as life. We wake up and everything is happening.
In life?
Whatever we wake up, whatever is happening. Beings, gets associated with it.
Yes.
But in actual, the realization is whether it is happening in front of it. So being has that power of belief to get associated or get unassociated.
Yes.
Even if this being, if decide not to do anything, like, dropping off, but still the life is going to, it's not going to stop. And then there is something beyond which is even aware of this being, which is just complete stillness. So in reality, it's just a pretense.
Yes.
Just a pretense of feeling like, hey, it's happening to me, and behaving in a certain time. But even if this body is not there, the being is in there. It still knows everything. Maybe it changes its preferences, it changes its appearances, interest or something. But it's just coming up as we speak.
The usual experiencing is that as soon as being is present, this body also seems to be present. That's the usual experience. But being is unlimited. So that's why we can have out-of-body experiences, astral travel, all of this. We don't get into any of that stuff because I don't actually find any interest in any of that. But all this yogic siddhis of being in multiple places at the same time, all this I'm sure is possible because being is unlimited.
It's about wanting to see other appearances than this.
Yes. And many of us have had spiritual experiences where we said that everything the entire universe can seem like it is just present in front of you and you can seem to go wherever you want. All this can happen.
This being is just a mere presence.
Yes.
You cannot, try to have its attributes or something like it's a light or something. It's just a presence. That's it. Knowing.
Just this presence. And to say that it is present itself is more than what you can say even about awareness. You see? That's why we say that although it is closest to non-phenomena, most intimate to non-phenomena, it is the primal phenomena itself. You see, because you can feel the presence of being, you can experience the presence of being. But you cannot say, I experience the presence of awareness. You can just say, I know I am aware. I see I am aware. You cannot say, I can experience the presence of awareness.
And where the trickster come in is, it try to define the way the appearances should come for the being. Like even if you say that I know who I am, but then it would come in and say that the life or this body should behave in a certain way. Certain set of thoughts should come in, certain set of actions should come, anger should or should not come in certain circumstances. That's where some would say have lost it, because they believe that it is confused in the certain state of blissfulness that comes when the realization may come.
So another subtle step that already happened in this process is that it is not defining life for being. It is defining life for you personally. So when this comes, already any thought is speaking to you as a person. It is not saying that being should have this experience. It's already saying that Vikas should have this experience, or Vani should have this experience. So when it is saying that, it is already there's a presumed belief that if you believe this thought, you are first believing the concept that you are a person. So that can seem like a very minor jump, but that is the cause of all the seeming trouble.
Father,
May
I ask something?
Yes.
It's just came now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it just came now. It's clear for me that there is no person. Don't want even to speak about that. It's just very, even like it seems like a joke to speak about person. When I feel something, anything, I know it's just happening, and I'm with that. It's not there is no person there taking credit for anything. But I'm now, why I wanted to ask you the question, I had already an answer, because it seems like a clear answer. But anyway, I would like to share now. It's amazing that this feeling of presence, this being, is very that the experience of being is solid, and it's here. But it's amazing how this being, which actually is also, how to say, not really real, because I know that I don't have this feeling of being solid while in sleep. Yeah. There is nothing, even this feeling, there is not. In the morning, when this being wakes up, then there is a feeling of this. Now I hear it. And it's and I know that this being also comes into existence every day, and it's amazing how this something which is really not real is able to produce all these appearances. And I was almost asking myself, but who is also, I don't know even how to say that. Is it this being also asking every questions which I have, or it may appear it's also being asking? It's everything actually happening only in this presence of being, whatever. Being asking questions, being responding, consciousness seeing this, consciousness. Actually, all play, whatever I can imagine, is actually only play of this being, which even ultimately does not exist, because when I go to sleep, there is not. And I'm just amazed with all this play. And then came to me the question, but who is amazed with this? And even being, everything is actually, everything is this being. It has nothing to do with awareness. That was, I don't know even if it's that question, just I was amazed with all this play. I never seen this before, never that. everything, all questions, answers, everything is already answered. It's just a play, just a play.
This is very good, very good. So we see that what exists then, if we can use the word exists, then what exists? Only being. Therefore, all that is happening, all that is being done, all that is present is only being, or consciousness of God, or whatever word we want to use. And therefore, all phenomenal activity and all phenomenal experiencing is also the doing and experiencing of God. See? Now we are coming to the true understanding what it means that you, God, are the one doer, and you, God, are the one experiencer. Actually, even more accurate would be to say, I, God, am the one doer, and I, God, am the one experiencer. And ultimately, we can also say that I witness God being the one doer and the one experiencer. So all that is happening. So this is the true meaning of surrender, you see. You see surrender to be the reality. It is no longer an action that I surrender. You see surrender to be the reality. What does it mean? I realize that I never existed personally. So all that is happening as God, through God, by God, to God.
Yes. Sometimes somebody asks me on Facebook chat. I don't like to chat with other people. It's all nonsense. But anyway, play. But ask sometimes or say, this is true surrender, what I see in you, or something like that. But I really don't know what is surrender. I don't know what is that. I just somehow am able now to see how things are. Just that. But surrender, maybe it was somebody before who needed to surrender something, but now there is nobody. I don't know how to explain. It's even to speak about surrender means nothing because I'm already here and I see, and it's everything had some meaning before, somewhere, some there before, but I don't know even when that happened. I remember on a chat when I had direct satsang with you. I remember that moment, and I will never forget because it was so intense. That opening in my heart, and you said something like, now I'm letting you inside my heart, but you used other words, I don't remember, but just it was the feeling. Now the whole my heart space is just filled with you. That was the very beginning of this big opening. I only remember that, and sometimes I wanted even to remember, but how come I'm now here in this space? What happened? When? How? And then I see it's all gradual. Just I can remember some moments like that one, some moments of bigger opening, but you open, you let energy come in, I let your presence inside me, and after that I don't remember anything anymore. I just know I'm here. That's it.
Very beautiful, my dear. Like this, that's why we always say, isn't it, that surrender is not a doing. The concept of surrender as a doing itself is not surrender. You see, this feeling that I must surrender itself is not surrender because the doer is still there. I wonder if it makes sense. But you see that surrender is a realization that there is nothing here to surrender. There is nobody here who can even surrender. What the world mostly believes to be surrender is some sort of deal making with God. saying, I am now surrendered at your feet, please take care of my life. So now, and then 1 week later, I surrender to you and still you are not taking care of my life. Then where is the surrender? Surrender is the true understanding that consciousness is the one doer and one experiencer. Consciousness is all that exists phenomenally. And then you say that I am this consciousness, I am that I am, or you say I am that which is aware of this I am, either is okay. I'm not so concerned about that.
I just wanted to say also, yesterday I was a little like more aware of what means surrender, because to me it's my natural state now of living, and I don't ask myself why I don't have this feeling anymore. I don't ask that. You know, when you feel good, you forget everything. You forget all suffering never existed. So there is nobody here to ask even these questions. But my sister, yesterday we were speaking about something, and she asked me, but she told me, tell me, how do you still have that feeling you had some years ago? Because she said, I see you don't feel anymore like that. When you had to go somewhere to meet somebody what happened to you? She asked me. I said, I would like to go even to see Ananta. If I would have money one day, I will for sure go there. But she said, but don't you feel you have to be there? I said, I said, but I already have him, already happened. It has already happened. And I could not, I'm able to explain, but she was not able to hear in that way. So I tried in this way, in this way, in this way. But at the end, I put really much effort to explain her, because I tried to explain and her mind was interrupting. You know, it's like, and I said, no, I really can't explain. It has already happened. And she said, but how? And I said, I don't know. Even if I knew, I said, I really don't know. And it was so perfect for me, because before, as a person, I always try so hard to explain how I feel, and to make others see or believe that I have changed or something happened to me. But now I really, something here, it does not care, just does not mind, you know. I say I don't know, and I don't mind. If she can understand, that's I don't know. That's beautiful.
Thank you, my dear. So for being to be unassociated right now, he said the whole point of sharing all of this is that being goes from being associated as something to be unassociated. So just don't believe your next thought. As you go along in satsang, as it gets like this, more and more clear, then you will see that what sounds like such a simple pointing, this must be preliminary. It sounds like this must be just preliminary, getting started. But that this, just with this, the truth will reveal itself. It cannot because you cannot pretend to be a person without first using its belief. And in every instant, every moment, being is completely free. So we paint this standpoint for ourselves. We're saying that I am bound and I must get to freedom somehow. This is what I'm saying is that you are completely free in this moment. See? Right now you are free. Because only when you give your belief to a concept, then you pretend to be a person again. Now, after hearing this, can we put aside all old concepts of freedom and bondage? Can we put them aside? Because I'm saying, and you're here because I must have some credibility with you. So, I'm saying that in this instant, being is completely unassociated. But you can pretend to be a person if you give your belief to your next one. That's all that we are speaking about ultimately with all 3 hours every day. Basically, this is all that we are saying. It's all about God's pretense of being a person, how that pretense got old now, and now if it feels it has got old, then it can be dropped in this instant. Any other idea of freedom, forget about it. Now, which thought, which idea are you going to pick up? And something will get picked up because we said that it's an addiction. So something will get picked up, but then it is never something which cannot be kept back or thrown away. So what happens when we pick up a concept is then we pick up more concepts about it. Oh, why did I do this? Again, I'm listening, I'm not listening, I'm not good enough, not worthy, not there yet. So in that one loop, you actually pick up a lot. You pick up the whole family. So then just don't engage in any of that. Just keep that one concept back. As simple as this. This is belief. And this is keeping it back. It gets stored. It gets memory. Just this simplicity is what we are talking about. Just do not believe your next thought. And if you give it belief, then you drop it. And don't believe thoughts like there will be some which will come which will say, okay, but easy for him to say, or he is operating at some of the level. It's not true. We are the same. We are one actually. Getting the yes, so this is good. So the one that you cannot draw, then you must use for your inquiry. It can seem like most thoughts, and for you it's about pain and body. So then you say, I am in pain, I am tired, but I can't find this I. That would be the true conclusion, isn't it? Because we've looked many times and we've not found the I which is in pain or tired. Yes. That's what I'm saying. When there are these root thoughts, deeply conditioned thoughts, then those can be brought into the inquiry and say, who is the one who is in pain? Who is tired? Don't tire of this inquiry. What can happen is that we say, okay, I brought it in the inquiry, it should not come. So that is dependent on the amount of belief that has gone into it. If it's a small tree, which is not many years old, then maybe one chop of the axe is enough. It's a big, giant tree which has been nourished, and you don't know how many chops it will take. So whatever it might be, don't tire of the inquiry if the thought still seems to get believed automatically. If that's what you say. There are some thoughts which you will feel, oh, but this, and no sense that there is any control over it. You say don't believe it, but automatically it is believed. So these specially nourished beliefs, specially nourished identities, bring into your inquiry and say who is in pain, whose body is this. So this we must not drop prematurely. If there are these deeply conditioned thoughts, then we must not just Advaita excuse over it, because then we're just pushing it inside, pushing it till the conditioning still stays. If we on the mouth we are saying, "Oh, I'm just awareness," but inside us is conflict and suffering and fear and desire and all of this. So when the speaking can happen, you can smell that it's not truly coming from presence. It is presence mixed with fear, mixed with this feeling that I'm just speaking it, mixed with doubt. It's a very conflicted sort of way. Instead of that, it's better to just then say, okay, let me inquire into this. This thought is still getting believed. So we must not deny these things. Denial is not useful in that way. We see for ourselves that belief still goes. Then don't come and say, no, no, I don't believe anything now. No, I am awareness. It doesn't help. Just consent. If there is something that still gets believed, then use it. Use it as fuel for your inquiry, and don't drop the inquiry till this tree seems to lose all its powers. It's flat.
Seems like the evidence corroborating that thought. The sensation is there. It's Ananta. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, it's all the evidence in body or external world, everything can seem to corroborate. But can it show you the me? Can it show you the I? So don't go on the evidence now. We've been relying on the evidence so much. Let's find the cause. There is something, there is something, there is. Must be because this is there's a smell, so there must be. Let's find the root of it.
Other when we talk about freedom, is it about the choice of being to believe or not to believe? Because life you cannot change anything. It's going to happen, it's going to flow its own way. But the being can, it has a choice whether to believe that this is happening. If this pain is associated with me or not associated with me. It can take away its attention to somewhere else, and even pain is in the body, but it is not aware of that. It is not aware of that pain. There is pain happening. So this, I think, at the end, it's just about getting associated or unassociated. Other than that, there is nothing about freedom.
2-3 different aspects that you touched on over there. Let's start with the one that I remember, which is that you mentioned something about attention being able to come away from whatever is there. But attention is not as easy to control as belief. Because what happened is that through the usage of this attention in a certain way, if I tell you just make sure whatever you do, don't look left, then there will be this feeling that what is that I want to do. There will be this thing. it's much easier to say, okay, look left, it's okay, completely fine, but don't believe whatever you see. That seems okay. That seems free. So if you're trying to work at the attention level, there is bound to be some frustration. I will not bring my attention to my greed. I will not bring my attention to my anger. That basically means that I will not. So the whatever is meant to come will still come. Basically, we're trying to ignore it and say, no, no, this is not happening to me. So this can become a form of denial, and will start irking you somewhere. But you will find that just belief is just the simplest thing to work with. There are some who can get mastery. Presumably, there are some who can get mastery over attention. What you will find is that as you withdraw your belief over most things, you will find that what used to be strongly magnetic for you earlier also seems to be losing its magnetism. So that is one. Second, you spoke about free will. So at one level, what you said is completely true. Even Bhagavan said that if you believe that there is some choice, then just make the choice not to go along with your thoughts. That's the only choice that you have. He's basically saying the same thing. Don't believe your next thought, but in a different way. So if there's a sense of choice, then don't go with the stream of thoughts, is what he said. So it can be looked at this way. So it is consciousness which has the power of belief. But what I'd also like to say is that once you see that I am this consciousness, then everything is actually moving through my will. Once you have the acceptance of whatever is appearing, you will also see it as my own will, as consciousness itself. The personal voice, the mind will try and come in and say, why not then, create, just manifest $1 trillion or something, and just spread it to the entire everyone in the world so everyone can be happy. This kind of rubbish can come from the mind. You're God, no? So why? It's like this. So very quickly this mental voice or the personal voice can come. But you see that in the moments of quiet, you see that this being is the one that is projecting this entire story through its own script. Then the question of whether it is pre-scripted or whether it's happening now fresh, it also doesn't arise because time is also projected by consciousness itself. So the medium, am I losing everyone to this? But if the medium through which this concept of pre-scripted or whether it's happening fresh now, if that medium itself is being projected out of consciousness itself, then there's a question of whether it's already happened or whether it's happening fresh every moment or whether it's pre-scripted. Does it still have relevance? If time itself is born inside you, then what is there to say whether it's pre or not? There is no question of pre or post. There is no concept of time itself. Because you as awareness are not moving in time and space. Has anything happened to you in terms of time? Have you grown older as awareness? Is awareness aging with time? Is awareness moves? Can you locate also awareness in space? So we're not here in this way, in this phenomenal realm, either in this world of time or space, which is one continuum, as even the scientists are saying. It is one, time and space.
I picked something up, so I wanted
Yeah.
might say it's really stupid, right?
It's okay.
Silly because it's really, but I can see, I'm just having trouble like speaking right now, but there's still some identity with this. It's really so. I don't even know how to say it.
Start. What is the thought that was
So it gets a fan. I can see because I can see even the one bringing this to you. is seen in this,
Yes.
even though I'm talking right now, but I feel like it's good just to give it to you.
Yeah.
It just keeps it's really it's around, animals.
See, the menu it's describing the dish. Very, very, it's like this.
It's
I want to eat it now.
like I'm really attached to this dog. That lives nearby.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to cry.
Okay. She says, I'm really attached to a dog which lives nearby. And the thought is?
And like I can walk him and play and all this stuff. I think there's an identity, certainly around like animals and dogs. And, like the thoughts that can get picked up are, even though I see them getting picked up, I'm seeing that this is just all happening as it needs to happen, and it's like I can see the resistances and thoughts and emotions all like appearing before me, and yet there's still some subtle thoughts that get picked up, like, why is this happening? This should be happening. But like just thoughts around this should be
Losing the
happening.
dog? Thoughts around you going away from it? Or what is it?
No, like I just don't like how he's treated and all these things. And so it's I know there's like thousands of like these things happening, but it just it's just I don't know what to do. I just want to give it to you because I can't even say it's strong because it's not that it's strong. It's just it just causes a lot of pain. And there's stories and then
For the natural pain to come up, when you see that something is not, something in the appearance is not compassionate, it's very natural for some pain, some compassion, some sadness also to come. Imagine if all of us, we could see all the cruelty and no compassion, nothing would come. Would that be being spiritual?
so
But to make a story about it is the trouble.
yeah, and I see that, and I see like when something makes a story, I see that it's just a story.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why I'm bringing it up.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good because it's good clarity. Maybe it's also for others who are hearing, because it can feel like what we are speaking about is so just, we're saying the whole world is phenomenal, therefore we are so unattached and we are so cold. And it can seem like this, but I don't want, these people are so cold and the entire world is suffering. Many have asked Guruji also like this. What are you doing about the suffering world? And he doesn't say it himself, but I haven't seen another who is helping the suffering world more than him in this way. So it is not that we are against any of these feelings of compassion, of love, which come. They're very beautiful, very natural for them. And whatever actions also are meant to happen through you, will happen through you. If it is meant to help, if it is meant to just provide all the love that you can in the moments that you are.
And I can see it's just happening on its
Yeah.
own. I'm not having to plan any of it. Like it's just happening that I just these things are. It's been very beautiful without like trying to make an effort. But it just gets. And then the one that feels silly for bringing it up, I give up.
No, not feel silly. It's the same mind everywhere. Even what the mind says here is the same. There is no such thing as an evolved mind, although it pretends to be very evolved. So, like in this way, we allow all the compassion, even grief, sadness can come. It reminds me somehow, although it's not the same situation, but somehow is of this situation where someone once came to me and said that God was so kind to me. God was so kind because when I found my partner, he put us together in such a beautiful way. Everything was just flowing and it was lovely. It was so beautiful. And then it was like, but now it's just. So then what happened? God stopped. It went into pause mode, or so it is still the one that got us together is the one who is taking care of everything, even in the seeming moments of conflict, in the seeming moments of all that can happen. All is still a play of God. It's also this very popular to say that yes, God is like this, and God was so kind, and then God became unkind or something. Is it like that? So
must have been in the month of December when
God goes on vacation. So, like this, you see that the one who got this dog to you, who is the one who got the dog to you? Same one. Also, it is this one that is playing this entire thing. And if there is a lesson in all of this, it is to just completely, when you're in the presence of one that you love, just completely immerse yourself in that presence because you don't know what the script is, you don't know what time and space is going to bring. Because if you keep, once you start with this, why is a relationship beautiful in the beginning? Have you explored even with the dog? Why is the relationship beautiful in the beginning? Because there's no expectation of the future. You're just enjoying the moment in the present. You're enjoying it so much in the present. But then when it becomes something that we attach a me or mine to it, that this is my friend, this is mine, my relationship, then it becomes all about future and keeping it and grasping it. So all the relationships start so beautifully, and then when it becomes a need or an expectation or a sense of ownership, then it seems to get all this. So what if we could just have the same freshness? Guruji also says, just whenever somebody comes with a personal problem, a few times he'll say, just feel that you're meeting them for first time. Would you then hold all of this expectation and how this one is behaving? There's so much more acceptance. Okay, let's see what's happening in the chat. Yes. Reading all your answers about freedom earlier. Okay, there's a question there. It says, Stina says, I read somewhere that awakening is only possible if prana, which is life energy, is strong enough. Sometimes I feel that my energy is not so strong. I'm getting exhausted easily. Please talk about this. Forget about it. Just now I've said you are free. In this moment you are free. The way to pretend to be bound is to believe your next thought. That's it. Let's keep it just simple like this. Because God is not making mistakes like giving you less prana or freedom. It's not doing this. It's okay. These concepts they apply at some levels. I'm not completely discounting them. Even here, some practices, pranayam, all this has happened. So I'm not discounting it, but I'm saying that freedom is not a prerequisite. Prana is not a prerequisite for freedom. Freedom is all ever present, always here. So first forget about this concept, and then forget about whatever else the mind is saying. Nitya said, just want to remember the mic. We remembered the mic, my dear, before the broadcast. It didn't seem to work, so we'll try again later. Nick says there was hopelessness, cloudy separation 10 minutes ago. Now with you here it just dissolves into a helplessness of knowing nothing. Suddenly there's an innocent joy of presence. Even dull or sad is okay. It's actually not a helplessness of knowing nothing. It can seem like that to the mind that this is a helpless state and I don't know anything. But you realize that it's so free because all knowledge is from the past, just concepts. You're free from this burden of the past. Nothing needs to be known. You have the power to see. Because you have the power to see what is here, you don't need to know in that way, mentally know. So that's why I rarely use the word knowing to presume the true knowing, because knowing is most often felt to be this mental, intellectual knowing. So be free from all of this knowing, and just in this moment you can see who am I, what is present. To check this needs no knowledge. And you will see that I am aware as this awareness itself. Any confusion still remains? Sometimes I have to be honest and say that I hear the words coming from here, and then I wonder what confusion can still remain. Let's bring it out if there is something, because then we can deal with it. Because it seems very simple and digestible right now. That's it.
So spaced out. I come in quite question.
Yeah. But do you see now what I mean when I say don't believe your next thought?
The thought that I'm in pain outside, I'm not seeing who has the power to believe.
Like that. But so it's at that point where you say it seems like belief is going. Then you use it in your inquiry. You're inquiring into it, and every time you look, you will not find this I who is in pain, whose body this is. And in this way, with the inquiry, then more and more, you'll find easier to withdraw your belief. Because how can you believe something which every time you look for, you cannot find? So you can believe a story, okay, maybe right now it's not there. It'll come back later. Then you look later also, it's not there. You say, okay, maybe right now it's not there. And look later. And again you look. So that's all that is happening. We're confirming over and over that there is nobody here. That's all that's happening. The inquiry, all that it is doing is confirming that there is nobody here. There is nobody here, and bringing us to become aware of our self, which is awareness itself.
And I start to feel that everything has become more intense. And it's like, when I want to move away, the more I allow it, the more pain. or,
Yes, yes. Find this one who doesn't want to. Use all of this for your inquiry. So it'll play these tricks. It'll say, okay, it's become more intense. The volume gets louder externally, body, everything. This way with the inquiry, then more and more. But use it more and more for your come to a point of confirmation that what you say, that there is nobody here. I looked and looked and looked, and I can confirm to you that there is nobody here. So if there is still belief which is going to ideas, to thoughts, then we must inquire. Most of them are taken care of. The minute you hear, don't believe your next thought, most can come without trouble. Something will still push your button, something will still. And these will point you to your greatest attachments, your biggest fears, those which have been deeply conditioned. Yeah, Petra can come, you can come.
Hi.
Hello.
Something with you. Yesterday you said it's not about belief but about attention. And today you're saying that also.
Can you say again? I said it's not about belief, it's about attention.
Yes.
Oh. I'm very surprised I said that. Because usually I don't say that. I usually say that attention is difficult to manage. It's about your belief, simply about belief.
Yeah, I mean that. I just said it. So since yesterday evening, you always say, let your attention be free and it cannot go anywhere. So I'm trying to completely let my attention be free, so I noticed that now my thoughts and feelings and sensations in the body are completely full of hate and desire and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time there is this this unassociated space in the background that is completely not interested or just not involved at all with any of that.
Yes. This is very good. This is very good, because what happens is when we try to work at the level of attention, sometimes without realizing, we are repressing a lot of things. You see, because we are saying, I don't want to look at that, I don't want to look at that, and somewhere it gets repressed. Now we're saying, leave your attention completely free, welcome whatever has to come, allow whatever has to come. And suddenly you find that this is not so beautiful anymore. It can seem like that these strong anger, rage, emotion, something is coming, you see. But then you let it come and you let it go. Don't believe any thoughts about them. Just let them come and go. And you're already discovering that you remain untouched through this movement. So this cleaning up, this emptying up is very important. It's very important. And when we try to repress, control something, then this can just fester inside, and then come up in ways which are even worse than the unpleasantness, even worse than the seeming unpleasantness in which they are coming now. So all of this is actually going. Don't feel that it is coming. Know that it is going.
I also felt this this complete panic of not knowing anything and that even that I don't know and just completely I feel like going crazy. Like I either have to go to a mental hospital and I also see that doesn't make sense. So
it can seem a little unsteady like this. It can seem like I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know whether I'm supposed to do this or that. He doesn't even tell me whether to do this inquiry or what am I supposed to do. He's just sitting there smiling, grinning. That I'm here so boiling in this, not knowing anything, what's happening, but he's just saying it's good, it's good. like this it can come, but you'll get used to this not knowing. You see, it is the knowingness itself which has been the burden. So much we have known, and where has it got us? Nothing. So much knowing, we have known this, we've known that. Now you get used to this not knowing. And you'll never want the knowing back. You never want it back. Everything
I don't know that yet.
Is available right now. Everything that needs to be present is present here now. Nothing needs to come from a knowing. Nothing needs to come from the past. No plan is required for the future. So it can feel a little bit unsteady through these times. It feels like I have no legs to stand on. My legs are wobbly. It feels like the ground has been pulled away from under my feet. It can feel like this for some time, but you will get used to this, and actually you will find that I'm not falling, I'm flying. Even without the concept of falling or flying, but I would say it is closer to flying than falling. Because we have relied on our identity for so long that it felt like this is my crutches. I'm walking using these crutches of my identity and my thoughts. So when it is thrown away, you feel wobbly. You don't know what's happening. It feels wobbly. But actually you're just learning to fly. You see?
I was really afraid that if I let all the attention go, that something terrible would happen, like terrible, that I would either kill somebody or kill myself or something, but no killing has happened so far, so I trust that somehow now.
Actually, the possibility to kill somebody or yourself is more if you keep repressing all this inside. You see? So let it be vomited out. It's better.
It feels like now I am less prone to kill someone than yesterday.
Yes. Yes. This is very good. This is what it means to get empty of all of this. This is what I was saying also the other day, no? That if you keep believing every thought, very quickly you'll want to kill yourself or kill somebody else. It's true, I know it sounds drastic, and I know some of you feel bad that I say these kind of things. But it's like this mind is like that. Attack, 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 or defend, defend, defend. And to be free, then it comes with this ultimate solution of its version of freedom is some sort of this kind of action. Now we are letting all of this be thrown away. So actually I'm not encouraging any of that. I'm saying that this is getting thrown away now. As you're letting it go, you'll find yourself less and less prone to these kind of thoughts, to these kind of tendencies.
It feels very much like the trolls are now in my head. They've always been, and they're talking the same thing, exactly the same thing as they were saying, and then they have this huge blowout, and then they leave the hangout and they get tired eventually. It feels like that.
Exactly. So in this way, then we let them come up in this way and get released. But if we refuse to acknowledge what is there, if we try to control our attention and not look at the trolls, then they're just multiplying. You think they're multiplying inside.
They're bringing all their friends.
And you're discovering your real invincibility now. Because you allowed everything and you were not touched through all of this. The fear is if I allow this to come up, and I don't want to face. Like I was sharing yesterday, was it in Satsang or after Satsang? There was somebody who had this experience of coming close to a dead body, then after Satsang. And she came to me because she was actually physically breaking out in rashes and there was so much trauma which was happening. And she came to me and said that I don't want to face what is coming up for me. because it is too scary. You see, I'm seeing these scary visuals, I'm seeing all this scary stuff. So I told her that we must see it together. You see, you must allow it to come. And then she closed her eyes, and for a minute she was very scary visuals. They're coming, she said. I said, just stay with it, let them go. Don't resist anything at all. And then after just a minute, she was like, nothing. Nothing is coming. You see, I had imagined it to be such a big thing that it will keep happening like this, and for the rest of my life I will be in this trauma. But just in a minute of non-resistance, it seemed to get emptied out. So what you're not resisting cannot stay with you. Nothing can survive your acceptance.
But I'm afraid, I'm a little bit afraid that I'm doing it wrong because it's not going in 1 minute. It's still going on.
So you're not doing it wrong at all. Just let it come. What you're doing wrong is believing this thought that you could be doing it wrong. You cannot do it wrong. It's okay. Whatever has been pent up, sometimes it can be quick burn, sometimes it can be slow release. It's okay.
It's just always been my biggest fear to lose control, and because I have lost control a lot, and then I don't even know who that is. But
it's okay. All of this will leave. All this will leave. Don't worry about it. In any case, you were saying that already in the past I have lost control. So it's okay. This couldn't hurt me.
yeah, I'm still here.
Most beautiful is this. Most beautiful line maybe that I've ever heard is that whatever is coming, come and let it go. Just don't serve it tea. In the simplicity of this, it is done actually. It is just done.
But there is this kind of fear that I will give it tea, that I cannot control giving it no tea or.
Now don't believe this one also. Don't believe it. Whatever. So let's make it very simple for you. Just don't believe your next thought. And if you find that through the day something has got your belief and it still seems like it is with you, then you come to Satsang and you expose it.
I'm just so confused about belief, because whose belief is it? And now it comes up like now I shouldn't believe anything anymore. How am I going to do that?
No, the power of belief is one of your primal powers as consciousness itself. The instant the sense I am is there, you have the power of attention and belief. You see? So the personal identity, I am a person, I am a woman, I am whatever, comes by the usage of this power. So it is even prior to ego. In fact, ego is reliant on this power to believe that I am a person. So this pure unassociated I am uses this power to pretend, this power to believe, to say that I am a person. I am this entity. You see? So now you see that it is not a personal power, this power of belief, because it existed even before the seeming appearance of this person, isn't it? So this power you as consciousness own. Nobody can take it away from you. It is only that some concepts, some thoughts, you will find easy to withdraw your belief, very simple. But there are others which have been nourished, which have been believed over many, many years, maybe many lifetimes. And those still get held on to. So you can use those for your inquiry. Whose belief is this? Who's suffering from this? You can inquire. and sometimes it feels like inquiry also is not helping, then you come up in satsang and you expose it in the fire of satsang, and you will find that these beliefs will lose their power. Why? Because you will find here that nobody can believe you. You see? I cannot believe any story. Many here who cannot believe the stories. And then with this, although it might feel like, oh, these people are not helping me, actually it is a great help. Then you also stop believing the stories which have been believed in the past because they mean nothing.
The belief is just so strong that I have to do something, and then I see that that's not true, but then it comes again. And
Which belief is so strong? Which belief? Belief in what is so strong?
In that I have to do something, that there is this great burden of responsibility.
Yes. So if this feeling that I have to be responsible, I have to do something, then if you pull it into your inquiry, what do you see? Who's the I that has to do something?
When I look, I can't see anything, but it keeps coming up.
Yes. But you will win this game. It will not win this game. Because every time if it comes up, I have to do something, I have to be responsible. If you pull it into your inquiry, you will find the intensity with which it is coming, and the amount that it is coming up will just become cleaned out. It will become less and less and less.
But then also the finding that there is nobody to do something is also freaking me out.
You'll get used to this. You'll get used to this. It's the best finding that you can come to. And initially, like I said, it can seem scary. This is exactly what I said, isn't it? Because we have relied on the identity that there is somebody here, and we felt that we are relying on this to walk. So when we are throwing the identity away now, it can seem wobbly. It can seem scary. It happened with everyone. Everyone it happens with. So don't worry about this. You will find that you become very comfortable not knowing, not being a person, to see that there is nobody here. It's very, very natural actually. But because it has been around for some time, it can seem strange, it can seem weird. Like you said, it can seem to be freaky in some way. But it will become very natural.
And it's also that my mom keeps reminding me that that I have a responsibility.
And we find that also then we can use this into our inquiry, isn't it? So if it was a random stranger that said you better do something with your life, we'd say go away, get lost. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If the mom says, then we feel, oh, yes, something is there. You see, so we can also use this into the inquiry and say, why is it that I get so affected with my close relationships? It could be mom, it could be partner, it could be anyone. You see, and then you will find that yes, everybody has their own journey and their own ideas. I must conform to what is true for me in my heart. And I must listen to those who are free from suffering themselves to tell me, before they can tell me how to be free from my suffering. And this does not mean that we become disrespectful in some way, that we become arrogant in some way. None of that. Just in our heart we rely on what is true or not. And sometimes you'll find that relationships get better because of this.
Yeah, it's just that these ideas are around it that she has to support me or no or whatever, and all of this is just nonsense. But yeah.
I'm sure my kids say the exact same things. It's just the role play that happens like this between parents and children. It's okay. So every day I have an argument with my son because I feel he's not studied enough and he feels he knows everything. Okay, it's just part of the play.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Jerome says, welcome to the paradox without confusion, awareness, airlines. Airlines? First class in Father's heart flying. If you judge them, they will come again and again. More space. Just let everything come and let them. And Shivam says, Father, please increase the fire, burn everything that is not original. Let grace show and burn what all is still held on to swiftly. Bless me such that all gets burnt in the microwave of your grace. It's beautiful the courage that it takes to make a prayer like this. And it's not trivial, Many of you now can testify that every time I made this prayer, it seemed like the fire actually increases. It's very. Dana says, who is this who doesn't want to serve tea? God serves tea to everyone. And Jerome says, Sri Ganesha is the entire knowledge. Your son is wise, Father. We keep hoping, because what happened is that he was very young when we went to Mujiji first, in 2009, and we felt there's a affinity he has towards him. So he would want to go and sit in front, close to Guruji. He would want to come and hug him. He was very. So he would go and show his drawings to him and things like that. So we felt this one is going to be in Satsang. Now he's a teenager. He turned 13 a few months ago. So now he has to be dragged into Satsang like this. So we're hoping that this is another phase. Oh, look at that. Prithvi's son is also there. Hello. You will see that my son is there in many photos of the earlier days, but now you won't find him in Satsang photos. Annette says, what do you do when there is a lot of fire? It doesn't seem to stop. Why should it stop? It will only stop when there is nothing else to burn. And all that can be burned is that which is not original to you. This was your prayer, isn't it? Whether it was outwardly the prayer or inwardly your quest for freedom or whatever the quest for truth. You see? So then this fire should not stop. Let it burn, burn, burn everything which it can burn, because you will remain untouched. It's very good. It's very good if it burns away all this garbage. And yes, some fear can come. That will this fire, is it really hurting me now? Then use that, inquire into that and say, how is it burning you? Who is the you which is affected by this fire? And you will see, no, it's only that which I believed myself to be, only my concepts, only my ideas which are being burned, my attachments. No. And it says no firefighting, no firefighter is coming. It all depends on what you truly want in your heart. If you want all of it to be burnt, even though outwardly you might say that, oh, this is too much, if you want it to be burnt, it will keep burning. But if you feel in your heart, yes, it's okay to play with some of the identity, some of this play some more, then it can be sometimes that this fire also goes out. All is actually your will as consciousness. So listen to what your heart is saying. That is the voice of your presence, of your consciousness.
Sense is now strong and so that I get what I thought was that meditation and not be down here, you know, like fully in the sense of wanting that. So yes.
You're not waiting for that one's acceptance at all. The one that is refusing, you're not waiting for any acceptance from that one. Then, you see, this can be the subtle trick. No, I refuse. Who is this one? It is the same guy. Forget about it. It is not you. The feeling is it is me that is refusing, wanting to refuse. But when you see that it's just this voice, it is not you. Then this one itself is the resistance. You see. So this resistance cannot turn into the acceptance. But it is not you. Then now something to refuse or accept. It goes like that. Let it say whatever it wants, whatever tantrums, refusals, it's okay.
Desire that it should change.
That it should change.
Not
That
the
is
voice.
also its. That is also its. Yes, the desire for it to change itself is coming from that same guy. You see?
Not the voice, the body.
Yeah. Or the desire that the body should change and the pain should go. Whose desire? The same one. All desire is a resistance to what is. Thank you, Shanti. Good sleep to you. And it says, it seems the quieter and stiller I become outwardly, the more fire there is. I will just sit here and watch. Nothing like the feeling of burning to get this identification to happen. Watch, but watch with no interest. Because sometimes it can happen that you want to watch and see how much is left, how much more to go, am I there yet? You see? Just forget about all of this. I made it very, very simple. In this moment, you are free. You cannot show me any bondage right now. No matter what the state of the body, no matter what the mind is saying, this now, you are free. Now you can pretend to be bound, you can pretend to be identified by believing the next thought that comes. That's all there is to it. And if you find that there is some trump card thoughts which always seem to get your belief, then pull them into the inquiry. And then this belief will also get cleaned up. This is all actually. This is all. All good? Can it just be this simple? That's all it is. All it is. Even if pain comes, something happens to the body, it's not the problem. It is belief in this one. Always. Only this. Jane had asked earlier about contemplation. Contemplation and what it means to contemplate something. Because I also often say just contemplate. What is presence? What is belief? To contemplate actually means just to sit and say, ask yourself, what is the meaning of belief? And then you see how belief actually plays. So to contemplate actually is deeper, is not just to think about something. It has a different quality about it, where you watch something playing out. So you say, what is belief? Then the contemplation becomes, what can get belief? And then the answer comes, it is only a thought which can get belief. And then the question comes, how does this belief go to it? Who gives it belief? And then you check. And you see it is not personal. But the person itself is just a concept believed in. Therefore, what is prior to person? Being is here. Say, in the presence of being, I can give belief to an idea. Then you see that when being is not present, there is nothing that can be given belief to. The power of belief itself is not there. So like this, any topic you can contemplate and listen to the response which is coming from your heart, which is coming from your intuition. And for some time it can feel like, oh, the mind is trying to answer. But it's okay, let the mind also answer. If the mind gives an answer, you use that also and say, who sees that it is like this? So this power of contemplation you have, it's very beautiful. You can take any topic and just see how it reveals itself, how it unravels. It's not an effortful, mindy state. You're not sitting and saying, I must work it out now. Just, what is this? What is attention? I find that awareness is unlimited. And in the phenomenal world, there is this power called attention, which is bringing things to my notice. And I don't have too much of this because I cannot bring too many things to my attention simultaneously. It becomes confusing. Therefore, it must be limited. And you can see that when something appears, first attention must go to it, otherwise it doesn't seem to exist for us phenomenally. And then the mind comes with some concepts about it, and these become our beliefs. So this is the quiet unfolding of the truths. And if you're contemplative in temperament, if you're contemplative like this, a lot of these insights will simply unfold for you without any rush, without any feeling of being right or wrong. It is just observing what is seen as opposed to believing what the thought is saying. You're observing for yourself what you see. That would be the difference between a contemplation and thinking about a topic. Contemplation is when you check for yourself. How is it? Is it true what is said in Satsang? Can I check for myself? That becomes a contemplation. If you just make some concepts about it, then we've just thought about Satsang. So is this the question that you had about contemplation, or was it something else?
Thank you. Can you check with me?
Yeah. You want to do the inquiry together?
Mm-hmm.
So now, in front of you, there is the world. There are these objects which are there in front of you. You witness them, isn't it? They don't witness you, you witness them. Yes? So everything which is external is an object which is witnessed by you. You are the witness of them. Anytime when something doesn't resonate or something is not felt true, you can just stop and say, no, no, this is not clear yet, so we can repeat. In this entire process, you can stop me and you can say that this is not completely clear. So for the external world, simple. I am the witness of it. It does not witness me. I am aware of it. It is not aware of me. Now, if we close our eyes, then you will also find that you have what I call internal objects. These are thoughts, imagination, memories, all of this. What we call the mind is just a bundle of these internal objects. And just like an external object, I am aware of these, they are not aware of me. I see them, they do not see me. Whatever might come from the mind, I am the witness of it, I am aware of it. Also then, you can look at emotion, any feeling can come. Let's say it's another type of object. Any feeling, anger, greed, any emotion can come. I am aware of it. It is not aware of me. Then, even the sense that I am, that I exist, this feeling that I exist, I am here, even this is felt by you. You are aware of this. You are aware of being. There is this impersonal watching, even of presence. You can see that this sense of presence is here, being is here. You are aware of it. all of these objects or appearances are in front of you, but you remain untouched through whatever might be happening with them. Who are you that is aware of all of this? You are aware of the world, including the body. The world is not aware of you. You are aware of the mind. The mind is not aware of you. You are aware of the feelings. The feelings are not aware of you. You are aware of your own presence, that you exist. Even this presence is not aware of you. Who are you that is beyond all of this?
There's no answer for.
And the answer, whatever the answer might have been, would be another thought, isn't it? So you would be aware of that thought. That thought would not be able to define you because you are aware of the thought. The thought is not aware of you. Now, when you find some distance between yourself and this awareness itself, this awareness which is aware of everything, is it separate from you?
I'm not sure.
Yes. This we must check. This we must check. So also I will tell you that it is not. I give you the answer. This is the easy exam. So I give you the answer that it is not. But you must try to prove me wrong now. You must say that I am also this. I can step out of my awareness. There is some distance between me and awareness. Can we check? This, if you keep checking, can you tell me what you see? This is the most auspicious thing that can be done in this life. Just this checking. Are you somewhere where awareness is not? And is awareness somewhere where you are not? All these questions you can contemplate, and in this beautiful contemplation, great clarity about yourself will emerge. Also, one thing you will notice is that in none of the levels was there a Jane. There was no person which was observed. See, it was external world, it's the body, it's thoughts, it was emotion, it was the presence of being. There was no person called Jane here. In all of this, there was no person called Jane. Even this scene itself is the most beautiful. And so you find that there is no, I looked and I went through all the layers of the seeming existence, and I find that there is no person here. Just a collection of objects, external objects and internal objects, thoughts that come and go, emotions that come and go. So where is the person? Everything, all of these objects are coming and going. But the witnessing of all of this, is that also coming and going?
There's this contemplation you gave someone, like about if being is in the body, because you said that being is prior to time and space. So,
This is a very good point. Very good point, and I must clarify this also, that in the phenomenal aspect, it can feel like there is a being inside, which is the presence of which it is felt inside. Okay? So it feels like it is inside this body. But when we actually get a surgeon to cut us up, it will not report that there is something wrong. So, although it can be felt as if it is here, but it is felt the same way even when we are in a dream. It can feel like it is inside that body. So then we can see that it is this being. So some of you have tried this contemplation, isn't it? What wakes up first when the waking state comes? You will find that split second, maybe that there's a me first, there's a sense of being first, and then this world, including the body, is present. So it is this world which is actually including the body, which is inside being. Although it's okay, for now we can say yes, it is the presence of being inside the body. Conversationally we can speak like this. It's okay. As you come to your true discovery of yourself, then all of these insights will become clearer and clearer. But don't let these side questions distract you now. You just stay with this contemplation. Who am I who's witnessing all of this movement of phenomenal objects? Is that also coming and going? Am I also coming and going?
thank you.
Okay.
Father,
Yes.
may I ask something else? This came up because of the conversation you just had with Jane. So I'm pretty confused about that. There is this idea that I see that I'm not a person, but I still see everybody else as a person.
Yes.
So that can be, because if there are other people out there, then I must also be a person. So when you ask,
The reverse is better, isn't it? That if I find no person here, then there cannot be a person there.
right, but I feel like there are still people that are there. So when you ask what you see in front, you are the seer of it. But then who is the seer of it? Because if I see this pen, for instance, and I say that I see this pen, then there are so many assumptions in this that I am seeing this pen, and this pen is a pen, which I don't know what this is, and I don't know who's seeing this. So even if I say that that we are one, then who is here to be one with what?
Yeah.
With you. Who is that? So
This is very good. This is very good because you will come to this realization that there is no seer also. You see, there is no seer also, but the seeing is there. You see?
yeah, but who is seeing? There's nobody seeing.
So you will realize that you are closer to a verb than you are to a noun. You are the seeing itself. There is no entity here which owns the seeing. You are the seeing itself. There is nobody that the seeing belongs to. There is no seer ultimately. There is only the seeing. There is no witness. There is only the witnessing.
But this is so confusing because how can all of this be?
It is not only confusing, it is impossible to understand. So don't try to understand it. Just see for yourself. If you try to understand it, then more and more trouble will come. Just see what is true right now. Is it not true? The seeing is here. Can you deny the presence of the seeing?
No.
The seeing is here. So my simple question is, are they two? Is there a you and the seeing, or are you the seeing itself?
I don't even know if I can say that there is a seeing.
You must check. You see, now you're trying
because
to...
what am I seeing? I don't know even what I'm seeing.
Yes. Just check. Just check. Don't give it to the mind because the mind will come up with some confusing answer. You have to check what is here now. What is here now? It's not about the content of what you're seeing. It is not about the content of the appearance. It is about the presence of the seeing itself. Are you here or not? Not as what, but are you here or not? Are you present or not?
Well, you keep saying that you are present and that you cannot deny being, but I don't know if I'm even being.
Can you stop being right now? Can you just turn off the being for a minute and show me? Just stop being.
No.
See, so there is being. You are being. So who knows this also? You see? So it will get very confusing if you try to figure it out. Therefore, all that is required is just to check. And that's why I've given you these tools, isn't it? The tool is, can you stop being?
No, I can't stop being.
And stop being. How do you know this?
Because there's no doing in it.
But doing is a secondary concept. Here, when you check, can I stop being? You say no because what? How do you know you cannot stop being?
I don't know.
If you're able to stop being, just turn it off for a minute. We'll talk after a minute. Just don't be for a minute. You see, you're getting the essence of the question. That there is a presence here which cannot be stopped. The being is here. It cannot be stopped. The mind cannot understand this. Because this is prior to the mind, you see. because it is prior to the mind. It's all confused right now, and I'm okay even if it wants to throw a tantrum of sorts. It often happens. So we can work through all of that together. That's all right. But the essence is that I say, can you stop being now? You say, no, obviously not. Being is here. You might not say these words, but this is what you're feeling. This is what you're experiencing. That there is something which is here, which is not present in sleep state. Because if I say, are you present in deep sleep state? You say there is nothing. So right now, you cannot stop being. Who is aware even of this? That is what I call the pure seeing. And why do I call it the pure seeing? Because the word awareness has become conceptual for many of us. So typically what we would say is, who is aware even of this being, which cannot be turned off? I am. Therefore I must be that which is prior to even this being, that which is aware of being. See, now the mind will want to play a trick with you. It will say that just become crazy, just go crazy because all this is crazy. Huh? Don't fall for that trick. It's very simple. We are together in this. We're together in this. It will pull out all the stops and try to make something crazy out of you. Just don't fall for that trick. Just stay with me. It's very simple. Can you stop being?
No.
Because being is here. And who is aware of this? That being cannot be stopped. Who is aware of this? Is it an entity which is aware?
No, there's just awareness of that.
Yes. And are you separate from this awareness?
Well, it can't be, but it doesn't feel that way.
Check. Is there some place where awareness is and you are not? Is there some place where you are but awareness is not?
No, but it feels really strange because there's no quality to it and everything else has a certain quality.
Exactly. You see, this is very beautiful what you say without even realizing. This is very beautiful. Because when I say, are you aware now? And I ask you, are you aware now? Is it a qualitative experience?
No.
No. Is there any other experience which is non-qualitative like this?
No.
No. This is the only one, you see. I very much am enjoying this conversation. Very much loving this conversation. Because you see for yourself that awareness, being aware of itself, is non-phenomenal experiencing, the only one. Everything else, some phenomena is tasted for it to be an experience. So this your own self-discovery as awareness itself, you cannot say anything about it because there is no phenomena. There is nothing to report. And yet you are here.
Right.
Can you deal with this simplicity?
No.
You will. This is very, very good. Very good. That is why when you come to your self-discovery that I am this awareness, but there is nothing to report because it is not phenomenal, you see. It is the only non-phenomenal experiencing, you becoming aware of yourself. Now don't even make a visual out of it. The trick that the mind can play is try to make a visual framework out of this and say, okay, I am that space, and then inside that space there is being. Forget about all of that. It is not going anywhere. Anytime you check, you will find that you are just this awareness. You don't have to hold on to anything. You don't have to do anything at all. This cannot be lost. And there is nothing you can say about it also. Because like you said, it has no quality, it has no taste, it has no attributes.
This is just so weird.
Yes. But it will become the most natural. It will become the most. To discover that I am not an entity, I don't even exist phenomenally, can seem very weird initially.
And the thought comes up so strongly that, like, what is the point of this? And there's no use, and why would you want to know that? And
Just forget about what the thought is saying. Yeah, because what do we want the thought to say? We want the thought to say, yes, yes, I got it. Even if it says that, it doesn't matter, you see. The thought is just another appearance. How is it touching awareness?
it isn't. This is not interested in anything.
Exactly. It's neither interested nor disinterested also. It's just.
But then where does all that other stuff come from?
Where does all the phenomenal stuff comes from? Is that the question? Where does the phenomena come from?
Yes.
It comes from within this itself. And goes back within this itself. Just like sleep, where does it go, the world? Just like a dream, it can come. The entire world is there in a dream. Where does it come from and where does it go?
Nowhere.
Exactly. So we can say nowhere or we can say from within this, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. How come it doesn't feel like that is me?
Because feeling is much later. Feeling is like your grandson or something. How can feeling know where you were born? Feeling is born much later.
Yeah.
Then there is being, then there is this whole phenomenal play. As part of the phenomenal play, there is feeling. So how will feeling report on you? It has no idea.
Yeah. I am so wondered beyond even being wondered. Just don't know.
Actually, in a while we'll turn the computer around so everyone can see this wonder. Your expression is so unique, right? I know this expression very well for myself.
I just don't know anything, just anything.
Yeah. But you see what you are. You see, that is a difference. You don't need to know anything because you see what you are without waiting for any mental confirmation or the mind to agree with any of this. Forget about trying to figure it out. You will not understand this. You will not even understand what happened because the mind is saying, what happened? So what happened? Nothing happened. Forget it.
Yeah, but it's true what you say, that any kind of understanding or feeling or whatever, it all comes later. It's inside that.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. For no one it matters. Not only for me it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for anyone.
Yes.
For everyone it's like that. It doesn't even matter whether you realize or not.
Yes. Yes.
A really silly thought comes up. So am I enlightened now? It's just.
Don't feed the trolls.
It's even so silly to even ask that.
Okay.
But the concept even is just.
Okay, now she's changing her response.
Like the concept of self-realization or enlightenment is just nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're nothing.
Thank you so much. Oh, very good, very good.
Then also it comes up, how can I stay like this? But that is also so ridiculous because you're always that.
Yes.
Even if you forget or don't remember or
It's very beautiful. You see what's happening? Because usually what happens is the doubt comes like this, how can I stay like this? And then the master is answering. But now she's answering from her own seeing. How can I stay like this? But that's so ridiculous. You see? It's like that. But you can see for yourself.
just all of these things come up. Like, how can I see this? Who might see it? But then there is just nobody seeing.
Yes.
how to move on from this and what's going to happen now, and
We'll soon find out.
there's just nothing happening. I just don't know anything. Just that I even don't know. There is no one to be special here. It's so funny. There are no greatest sages or most enlightened people. or most profound. It's all nonsense. And it seems like there are still so many things to figure out. There is just nothing. So many things I don't understand. No understanding.
So all the insights, everything which is meant to be seen, will be seen. Fresh insights every day. There is nobody there to be really concerned about them. Whatever is meant to be seen will be seen.
But it feels like something meant to be seen is even time and someone to see them.
As long as you are creating this play of appearances, you can decide what to put in the play. But nothing in the play of appearances will ever touch or bother what you see yourself to be now, which is the truth of all of us.
But how can I put something in the play?
Don't worry about any of this. Don't worry.
I have never seen you before because there's nobody to see something. There's just no concept anywhere.
I was seeing her messages from on the YouTube chat. I have to come in. I must come in. Very, very happy you came inside. Now, for some time, you will feel that, okay, even this one is speaking phenomenally. You feel like this initially, it can happen like this. Even this is, he's speaking phenomenally. It's okay, you forgive me for some time, but you stay in satsang.
Yeah.
Okay, my love, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. He says, Amba says that Papaji has a book called Nothing Ever Happened, and it's 3 volumes long. Actually, the title would have been enough. I know I missed some questions today on the YouTube chat, but we'll have to look at them later. We have a song. Couple can sing one. I'll sing with all of us. Oh, Vani? You're agreeing with her?
No, I
You sing?
she thinks she's a
Yeah? She's not believing my thought.
Don't think about it.
Yes.
I didn't say I started.
It's okay, we'll all start. What do you feel? What's coming up? Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
I don't understand what to say.
Yeah?
But I only have no.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone's mind, so maybe, yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Maybe I'll just stop talking.
Yes, yes. Okay. Amba has a song with all the disclaimers. Radhe Radhe Shyam. Radhe 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 Shyam. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Radhe 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 Shyam Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Radhe 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 Shyam Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Radhe 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 Shyam Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Yes, yes. One day maybe we will have technology where all of us in the hangout also can sing together. But what happened now, you must have noticed also sometimes if all of us unmute our mics, then it becomes like there's some technology that makes it sequential. So the lines become all garbled up one after the other. But we have fun sometimes with that also. We can do that also. Thank you, Jayesh. Thank you so much for moderating. We can play the invocations now.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sakina Sarve Santu Niramya Sarve Patrani Pashantu Makaschit Kabak Bhavet Asato Masat Kamiya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamiya Mrichur Ma Amritam Gamiya Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachite Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Brahma Paramastu Om Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai Om Shri Satguru Mujiji Ki Jai.
Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujiji Ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Anantaji Ki Jai.
Jay.
Jai.
Thank you, Jayesh. We can end that.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Nata. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Sangha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
You can end the broadcast.